My question is, what is the purpose of education? And the reason I don't begin this talk with what is the purpose of Christian education is because even though we use the term Christian education, it really is not a great term, because it supposes or suggests that there is Christian education versus secular education, worldly education versus Christian education. There's no such thing. There's just education. And the reason I say that is because all knowledge comes from God, and all knowledge must honor God. And only God can define the purpose of education. Only God can define education. There is no Christian versus secular education. There is education. And the Bible defines education. What does the Bible define education as? Proverbs chapter 1, verse 7. You might want to turn there with me or jot it down. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge. Now, it is very important that we define our terms. So what does the Bible mean when it says the fear of the Lord? Does it mean that our kids ought to live in terror? Does it mean we always thought, oh no, God is coming? No, that's what the Greeks did. That's what the Romans did. That's what other civilizations did. They always lived in anxiety and terror about their so-called God. Hello, we as Christians, we as children of the covenant, we don't live in terror of God. What the Bible means, what the Hebrew word means by the fear of the Lord, is a reverence for God that is so powerful. It instills us with an awe, an astonishment, a piety, a sense of God's presence that is so overwhelming, a sense of God's greatness, a sense of God's omnipotence, a sense of God's omnipresence, a sense of God's omniscience, a sense of the beauty of God, a sense of God's love, of the holiness of God, of the creatorial majesty of God, of the sovereignty of God, of the bigness of God. Such a sense that it instills us not with terror, but with love and awe. It is the wow factor in our relationship with God. You want to tell your children the fear of the Lord is the big wow. When they see God, when they look at God in the Word, they see God in creation, you want to teach them to say, wow, isn't God amazing? That's what the fear of the Lord is. It is a sense that God is just amazing. He is wondrous. He is beyond what words can say. He is God, and there are no words to describe how awesome He is. That's the fear of the Lord. Now, taking that, the Bible says this astonishment, this reverence, this piety, this extraordinary sense of His presence, this fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge.